1939. Europe explodes, tanks rumble across borders, planes darken the skies, the world plunges into darkness. From the frozen plains of Russia to the burning sands of Africa, a generation fights. They fight for their countries, their families, their very lives. But a new threat is coming, one that will make this war different. Millions clash in the mud and blood of the Eastern Front. In the Pacific, islands become battlegrounds. Every day, death's shadow grows longer. Little do they know, a new horror is about to dawn, an enemy unlike any other. An enemy that knows no fear, no mercy, only hunger. Rumors filter back from the front lines, strange tales told by shell-shocked soldiers, stories of men torn apart, rising again, biting, tearing, spreading a gruesome infection. At first, propaganda, lies spread by the enemy to sow fear. But the stories persist. They become too numerous, too similar to ignore. The dead walk. A terrifying truth slowly dawns. The battlefield, already a nightmare, becomes something far worse. The line between life and death blurs. The dead rise to feast on the living, their hunger insatiable, their numbers multiplying with every fallen soldier. No one is prepared for this. Not the battle-hardened veterans, not the brilliant scientists, not the world leaders. The dead rise. They attack with a primal fury driven by a hunger that knows no bounds. Trenches become charnel houses. Cities transform into blood-soaked killing fields. Panic spreads faster than the infection. Armies crumble. Governments collapse. The world descends into chaos. The walking dead, relentless, unstoppable, driven by a single, horrifying instinct to feed. The world watches in horror. Old rivalries are forgotten in the face of this new threat. Allies and Axis powers are forced to fight side by side. Their common enemy, the undead horde. But how do you fight an enemy that cannot be reasoned with, cannot be intimidated, cannot be killed? Traditional tactics fail. Bullets slow them down but don't stop them. Explosions only scatter the horde momentarily. The world is plunged into a nightmare. Every fallen soldier, every civilian killed, adds to the ranks of the undead. The dead outnumber the living. Hope seems lost, yet humanity clings to survival. The will to live, to fight back, burns bright in the face of unimaginable horror. Section 5, Blood on the Beaches, D-Day. The largest amphibious assault in history, a turning point in the war. But this time the beaches of Normandy are stained with more than just the blood of the living. The dead rise to join the fray. American soldiers, fresh-faced and full of hope, now face a new kind of hell. The Allied advance falters. The stench of death hangs heavy in the air. Fear, raw and primal, grips the hearts of men. The beaches, once a symbol of liberation, become a gruesome tableau of death and resurrection. The living and the dead clash in a macabre dance of desperation. Section 6, The Price of Survival. The world is forever changed. Gone are the days of innocence. In their place, a grim determination to survive. Soldiers hardened by unimaginable horrors fight with the courage of despair. Civilians, once sheltered from the realities of war, now fight alongside soldiers, their survival instincts kicking in, but survival comes at a cost. The fabric of society unravels, trust erodes. Fear and paranoia reign supreme. Humanity is pushed to the brink. Every day is a struggle against extinction. The world holds its breath, wondering if this is the end. Section 7, Turning Tide. As the war rages on, humanity adapts. New weapons are developed, new tactics are employed. The flamethrower, once a tool of terror, becomes a beacon of hope. Fire, it seems, is the only thing the dead fear. Slowly, painfully, humanity begins to push back. The tide of the undead, while relentless, begins to turn. The battles are still horrific, the losses staggering, but there is a glimmer of hope in the darkness. The human spirit, though battered and bruised, refuses to be extinguished. The fight for survival continues, fueled by a desperate hope for a future free from the undead menace. Section 8, A World Reshaped. The world, forever scarred by the horrors of war and plague, emerges from the conflict a changed place. The old world order is gone, replaced by a new understanding of fragility and resilience. The lines on the map are redrawn, borders redefined by the battle against the undead. The war against the undead ends not with a triumphant victory, but with an uneasy truce. the living huddled together in heavily fortified enclaves, always wary of the threat that lurks beyond the walls. The world they knew is gone, replaced by a constant state of vigilance, a reminder of the fragility of life and the ever-present threat of the undead. Section 9. What if it happens again? The war against the undead was a turning point in human history. It taught us the true meaning of fear, the importance of unity, and the boundless capacity of the human spirit to endure. But it also left us with a chilling question: what if it happens again? The threat of the undead, though contained, is not eradicated. The virus, dormant but not dead, lurks in the shadows, a constant reminder of the horrors that we survived. We must remain vigilant, prepared to face the darkness again should it ever rise. The future of humanity may very well depend on the lessons learned from the war that reshaped our world.